During your tenure at the state chamber, I believe one of the things that you'll be remembered for was your efforts to bring together a very diverse coalition of organizations to have meaningful dialogue about immigration. Give our audience your thoughts on the immigration crackdown that's happening across the country and right here in Nebraska.
I was lucky enough to be in Washington during the Reagan administration, and the same immigration discussion was going on then. It's gone on every year for decades now, and it's the same talking points, and nothing ever seems to get done that's horribly constructive. We really started an effort to develop a legal immigration system that works. It's pretty clear that just open borders without processing people and giving them the right to live and the right to work on a permanent basis, that's unsuccessful. So is closing the borders and then having no legal process to really bring the numbers of immigrants we needed in the country. And in the process, we literally have thousands of families just in Nebraska, always uncertain as to what their resident status is, what their work status is, and that means that affects their employers, it affects schools, it affects hospitals, it affects our daily life, and it affects our ability of our communities to grow. We're not producing enough young children to replace enough old people like me in Nebraska. There is no way to sustain our communities, and that's true for small towns, but that's also true for Omaha and Lincoln, without a legal immigration system that works. And so I think it's one of the most important things in our future.
From the political perspective, I think that's the challenge is, yeah, we all agree that the bad people ought to not be in our country if they're here illegally. But the other people that my kids go to school with and I see at church and doing jobs in our community who pay taxes, those people, let's figure out a way without rounding them up with people with masks on who don't identify themselves. Let's figure out a way to bring those people up to legal status. And that doesn't seem to be a priority.
The sad part of all this, it's not complex. Even among the immigrant community, is equally desirous of getting true criminal activity and true criminals out of the country.
Yeah.
Not only is it a danger to the immigrant population, but it causes a public perception that has been very, very difficult to deal with. Everybody agrees with that. But I think everybody also agrees that immigration built this country. Immigration built this state. That no state that I can think of was more dependent on immigration than this state. We have a Czech capital, a German capital, a Swedish capital, an Irish capital. We go to the festivals every year. And this state of all states understands, and most of us know an immigrant family or a family who's first or second generation who's just accomplished enormous things within our communities and really been an economic generator in our communities. We all know. And so this shouldn't be hard. With secure borders, we should both vet people at the border, but we should also be able to process literally thousands and thousands and thousands of visas for residency and fill the jobs that we just simply can't fill now. Getting the conversation to just practical, what is the best answer for the United States and what is the best answer for Nebraska requires building a political safe space that gets us past those political talking points that are so easy to spout out in a campaign. And I think we're getting there. And I think Nebraska is going to lead on this. In the end, I'm optimistic.